Look at that. Look at the scenes. We haven't seen Riverside like this in the past. All the great moments we've had in the past, but nothing like this. Everyone's trying to get their vantage point. Now, Paddy Sheen, part of the foaling team at Coolmore. Coolmore asking the owners if it's okay if Paddy leads this filly in. He worked with Winx. He foaled this filly and he brings her into the ring.
Here is lot 391, the Bay filly, Pierro, out of Winx.
It was there the day the filly was born up there at Coolmore. Nice to have Paddy and nice to have the filly with us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the filly by Pierro from our idol in Winx. She's taken it all in, as rightly she should, as her mother did on so many occasions. 25 Group 1 wins, 37 races. She says hello. And ladies and gentlemen, what a pleasure it is and an honour for Inglis to be selling this filly to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we also would like to note the mare was four times the horse of the year. She was the horse that captured the racing hearts of Australia. And ladies and gentlemen, on that point, who'd like the pleasure of opening this filly? Do I have an opening bidder offer? Is there 3 million a starter? 2 million, thank you. I'm bid 2 million. I'm bid 2 million. I'm bid 2 million. I'll take 500 on her. I'm bid 2 million. 2.5. 2.5 million. 2.5 million I've got. At 2.5. 3 million. 3 million in front. I'm bid 3 million. You're out on the left. $3 million. At $3 million now. 3.5 million. Thank you very much. I've got 5 million. 5 million. That's the call. 5 million I've got with Harry Bailey on the left. 5 million. 6, 5, 5. 5.5 million. 6 million. I got 6 million with Liam. 6 million. 6 million now. I'll take 500 again at $6 million. At $6 million. The daughter of our legendary Winx at 6 million. At 6 million. 7.5 million I have. 7.5 million. At 7.5 million. 8 million. 8 million here. I'm bid 8 million. 8 million, I've got it down low at $8 million. $8 million. $8 million. What do you say, Harry? 9 million. 9 million. 9 million. 10 million. 10 million here. I'm bid 10 million. I've got it with Liam Griffiths at $10 million. At $10 million. I'm bid 10 million. I'll give your client a chance, Harry, at 10 million. It's worth a bit of consideration. At 10 million. At 10 million. These opportunities do not come along very often. Once in a lifetime at $10 million. At 10 million. I'll give you 500 to spend. How's that, Harry? At 10 million. At 10 million, but Liam Griffiths holds the call. Would anyone else like to come in at the money? At $10 million. At $10 million. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the hammer comes up at $10 million. For the daughter of Winx. Is there any more, any further bid? And please, a requirement, just hold the applause. They're young, unbroken horses, $10 million. But I'm going to sell them, make no mistake. At 10 million, take 500 more. At 10 million, last chance, done. Godspeed. Hold your applause, please. Hold your applause. We will follow her with great interest. Godspeed, young lady. She'll make her own story. Thank you, Paddy. We'll get... Whoppet Bloodstock, thank you very much, buys for $10 million. The filly stays in Australia. Thank you very much for the competition. Great to have you all here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll hand you over to Chris Russell to continue.
Well, that was an auction like we have never experienced. Debbie Kepitis and her Whoppet Bloodstock buy the filly of her Wondermare in Winx for $10 million.
So Peter Ty gives it, have a look at the emotion of that.
Relief it looks like too.
Yeah, excitement, the thrill. People at home, just to understand, she raced Winx in a partnership with a lot of other owners. Whoppet Bloodstock is just her family's business. So of course, she's paying a little bit back to herself, but that is a huge purchase. Peter Ty says thank you. Incredible scenes. So for Deb and her daughters and her husband, this is their passion. They want to grow their business, and they've got themselves one of a kind.
This family have been in racing for many, many years. Of course, Debbie, being from the Ingham family, they have been doing this for a long while, and they are starting to grow their own dynasty with the Woppet bloodstock brand. We saw Riff Rocket win the Derby on the weekend. He could be anything as a middle distance to staying distance champion. Well, now they have added the daughter of Winx, and there is no doubt in the world that she will be trained by Chris Waller.
Yeah, and just think for a moment, the Thai family as well. The Thai family who have sold their young star and made $10 million. Look at the reaction.
Tom Magnier, Coolmore Stud, are used to making headlines all around the world. Take me through your feelings right now, another massive moment in history for the thoroughbred industry.
We wouldn't have been able to do this if it wasn't for the Tigers, the Kepitises and Elizabeth Trowalke. They've just been so easy to deal with. They're straightforward, they're easy, they've been so supportive the whole way through. I think we have a little bit of an idea of the pressure that Chris was under with Winx. But fair play to Paddy Sheehan, he led her through, all the staff on the farm, and they've done a great job. And it's coming out in the Netflix series, what we went through with this mare, and like, she is lucky to be alive, and probably to have a foal on the ground. You know, it was 100 to 1, and we're here today, and I couldn't be any more delighted that Debbie has bought this filly, and the whole family. You know, they're such terrific clients of the farm. You know, they're just lovely people, they're great friends, and yeah, to me this is like winning a Group 1, if not better. I'm just thrilled for them and for Chris and for the whole lot of them, so it's great.
Tom, I want to ask you, Winx has been so amazing for our sport, and as people, we all love our horses. What has it meant to look around here today to see the crowd that this filly has drawn, putting a wonderful spotlight on our industry?
Yeah, it was like the parade ring before Group 1. It's great. You wouldn't see this anywhere else in the world. You wouldn't see anything like this anywhere in the world. The build-up, you know, full credit to John Stewart over in America. He tried very hard to buy her, so it just shows you that the power of the local industry. And I'm delighted that she's with Debbie and Paul and the whole family. They're longtime friends, but as I said, you know, what we've been through with this mare, you know, to be selling something here today is huge, but it's full credit to them. They're the most beautiful people, and you know, they're a pleasure to deal with. So
a few deep breaths from Paddy Sheehan as he led her in. A few deep breaths from yourself.
I can't explain Paddy Sheehan. He'd be in tears now. Like when Winx lost the foal, like the mare nearly died.
Yeah.
And Paddy was there every night with that mare in the hospital. So it was really fitting that Paddy led that horse through today. And I'm delighted that the partners agreed to that. They were delighted that he did. And listen, it's a great credit to everybody at the farm, and well done to Inglis.
Another chapter in history for everyone involved. Congratulations to you and the entire team.
Thanks very much. When Winx retired, we were very fortunate that the owners decided to send Winx home to Coolmore, where she was born. Winx, obviously, it's no secret that Winx lost her first foal, and she nearly died. And to be fair to Paddy Sheehan and all the team at the Scone Equine, they did an unbelievable job saving the mare. And to think that, if you agree, to think that we have this mare today who has had a foal and now a yearling by Pierro, and such a good looking filly, for the behind the scenes of what we went through to get here today, it couldn't happen without the most understanding owners. Chris, they've been so patient, they've been so understanding, and the team at the farm have done an unbelievable job. And I think I have a little bit of an idea the pressure that Chris might have felt in some of those races, but it's a full. These guys are you know, they're fantastic. But the Kepitis family, they grew up beside us in our farms. We're together in the Hunter Valley, and I've known Debbie since I was young, and they have been so good to us. And they keep their horses at Coolmore, and like they won the Derby last week. I thought, God, how do we beat that? And then we come here today and we've done this. So it's really fitting that this filly is going to the Kepitis family, and I think it's just the perfect story. And yeah, that was the most important result for me today, and I'm just thrilled.
Tom, coming today, what was your realistic expectation that the filly might bring? Because 10 million's just off the charts, isn't it?
Well, John Stewart was in Australia a couple of weeks ago, and he was very confident, obviously, on getting the filly. John Stewart was very confident on getting the filly, but you know, when you come up against Debbie, you want to have will and determination. And yeah, I knew she was going to make a very high figure because somebody's buying history. This is like, you know, it's like it's a classic and it's a collector's item, and there's only one person who deserved today, and that was Debbie and Paul and the whole family. So I've said enough, but I just want to say to Paddy Sheehan, to all the staff at Coolmore, it was just to save the mare, to get the foal, and she's back in foal, and it's a dream story. So that's me, and I'm going to.
Did Debbie get a bargain?
Listen, I don't think you can put a value on a filly like that, especially someone like Debbie, who really wanted this filly. And, you know, we've been through so much on this journey to get here today. It's just incredible. So, guys, thank you very much. I'm delighted.
Just get Sebastian Hutching quickly because he's going to run off. Sebastian, can we just grab you? CEO of Inglis Bloodstock. I'll join Deb and fire away.
Well,
Sebastian,
what a
again,
day.
do you mind jumping into the mic?
Sebastian Hutch, CEO of Inglis Bloodstock.
How are you feeling right now?
It's fantastic. I mean, it's a real privilege for our company to have had the opportunity to offer a horse of this magnitude. Obviously, Winx is an iconic figure in Australian sport, not just in racing. So to have had the opportunity to bring her daughter to market was a fantastic opportunity, and for it to play out the way it has and to facilitate the scale of interest that we have has been incredible.
When will the public see her race, do you think?
She wasn't bred to be a precocious horse. She was bred to really try and be as close to her mother as she possibly could. I think her mother ran at the end of her 2-year-old season, so you know, possibly we might see then maybe her 3-year-old season. I'm not aware of plans for a trainer yet. But
anyone in mind?
But whoever's lucky enough to train the horse will be
Mr. Waller.
There you go.
So he's obviously as good a horse person as there is in the country, and he'll be very aware of how to manage her.
What's left for the underbidders to bid on this afternoon?
They've been very active through the sale, I believe, and I believe they are interested in lots later on. So I don't think they'll be scratching the surface of what happened here, but I hope to see them participate in the sale again.
Well done.
Thank you.
Can we just quick word?
Deb, have you got anything left?
Yeah, anything?
Yeah, go.
What have you got?
Has the dust started to settle in those last few minutes?
Yes, it has settled in. Look, Inglis were amazing. When they put the pitch in, along with Magic Millions, they are two amazing companies that do a fabulous job of presenting horses for the sale in the Australian market. The ownership group had a big decision to decide when, where and when to sell her. She was always going to be a little bit of a later horse, so leaving her to April sale was really the major thing in our consideration. I didn't come here to buy this horse originally. We put her up for auction, and then in the last few weeks, all of the family, we started to miss our daughter, granddaughter. So we just decided that as best we could, if we could get her, we would. I am privileged to have been able to secure this filly on behalf of my family, to be able to hopefully see if she can get to the racetrack. If she can't get to the racetrack, she'll be an amazing mum. She's Australian forever, and she's going to be just fabulous. So thank you everybody for all your love and care for this beautiful horse. Hopefully she'll do a Winx, but look, it doesn't matter if she doesn't.
But you've got to keep the family together. We now know that Winx is having another baby, so another foal. The pressure on to keep the family together, right?
Look, golly, that's a huge ask. I've just spent $10 million. You don't. I mean, I don't know where the ATO think you get money from. So
You might
look,
have to pass a head around.
those things
Down
you
the
can't predict that.
Okay.
No. Look, we've got to get the foal first.
Yeah.
The ownership group have to. That foal is only coming along.
Yeah, well, good on
So
you.
look,
Thank you.
it's just amazing, and thank you all for all your interest, and thank you to everybody around the world that has taken this on board. It's been thrilling to watch it, and we're lucky enough that we came out winners.
Good on you, Deb.
She's lucky enough to get a name better than 391 now. Is Tiddlywinks in the car? What will you call her?
Winnie, our nickname's Winnie. She has been Winnie, but no, that won't be her racing name. That's got to have a lot of thought. We haven't gone into that, but she's Winnie. A bit like Nellie for Black Caviar. Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of fun being part of this today.
Yeah.
It gives us great pleasure to welcome to our host set the star of the show today, in Deb Kepitis from Woppet Bloodstock. Deb, firstly, can I start by saying congratulations? What a great thrill.
Oh, thank you. I'm not the star. Winnie is.
Yeah.
Winx's little foal, Yearling. She's always been winning to us as a family, and we're lucky enough to own her outright now.
Now, this is special, Speedy, before you start talking, because you've got Woppet Bloodstock, named after a little filly trained by Emma's dad.
I know.
Isn't this remarkable?
It's a bit bizarre. You were very little then.
Very little, yeah.
So that's our matriarch. She was the first one that Paul and I raced, and we put our kids in that were old enough.
Yeah.
And that's how we started our individual business.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Before we get to the sale and the bidding war that ensued, I want to talk about her as a yearling. We've heard about the trials and tribulations of your great mare in the last few years, and it was awful to hear Tom really speak with such gravitas that she did nearly pass away at one point.
We hadn't heard that, had we?
We hadn't really heard that forthright. But the way she paraded around this ring today, she has been put through the ringer the last week, and she took everything in her stride. She was cool, she was calm and collected. She throws to Mum a bit there because that's the way that Mum always was. You never saw her turn a hair.
No, and Paddy Shahan, who led her through the ring, look, the beautiful story of him, he actually foaled Winx down.
Incredible.
And then he foaled
Yeah.
Winx's foal, Winnie. So to have him lead around, he said she was a bit itchy and and also not good. And he said, got into the show ring, and she was like, okay, this is my place.
Showtime.
Which is exactly what Mum was.
Yep.
You know, like Winx would get the poos with you, and she'd turn her back on you and walk to the back of the stall. Whereas, you know, she'd get on race day, Huey'd jump on her, and you know, like it's this totally different animal. So hopefully we have a good horse on our hands.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting, because there's a lot of people at home going, hang on, Deb, you know, you were involved with Winx, but that was in a partnership with other people who are no longer involved in this. Tell us about your family business, though, because I know, and that's why you're emotional as well. I know how much you love Winx. We know how much you love this filly, but now you're doing it with your family.
Oh, look, it absolutely means everything. My dad and uncle had Woodlands, and they ran it as a business, and they enjoyed it so much. Racing is not a business, just a business. It's a passion.
Yeah, it has to be.
And it's a passionate business. You get so many highs and lows in it. So when the girls, we had to wait till Talia, the youngest, turned 18. So once they all became old enough to be in partnership of horses, we formed our syndicate, and we've just refined what we do. And Winx was bought before we had that syndicate done. So I was the single owner. My name was the single owner. But to have done a partnership with the Ties and Treweeks was amazing.
Yeah.
Look, that was a way we did it to get Winx.
Yeah.
And we couldn't have had a better time.
No, it was awesome.
And couldn't have had better partners.
Yeah.
And to have them still involved. The Treweeks, Richard passed away, and his children who were handed Winx, they have kept true to the legacy.
Wonderful.
And it's a tribute to him that they wanted to stay. They're not racing people.
No.
They got the bug because of her, but they just don't know it. So for them to stick with it and for them to go through this journey and then offer the foal up for sale as the yearling, it's a real tribute. And Peter and Patty Ty and their kids, James, it's just, look, it sets us all on a path.
Yeah.
It's set everybody on a path.
Tell us about the conversation in your own head or with Paul, who stands over there behind the big lighting rig, about, it felt like when you bought her today, it was a sense of pride and passion because we know how much you love this mare and how good she was, as you said, to the three families. But it also looked like relief. Like, when did you decide in your head that I can't live without her, I can't live without her foal, I can't live without the granddaughter, as you said?
Oh, look, that all came to fruition probably in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Till then, we're very proud of her, and we would proudly allow her to go to someone else for them to have that wonderful journey we've had. And it just came a real realisation that no, we couldn't just be a part of it. We had to be with her. We had to make sure we looked after her.
Who was the one that started that conversation?
Oh, me.
Was it you?
Oh, God, yes.
Came down from breakfast one morning. I've got an idea, guys.
No, at one of our weekly meetings, our
Yeah.
business, our staff meetings on a Wednesday morning, they all arrived and I said, well, we're buying her.
And what did they say?
Go for it, Mum.
Good, good.
Because I asked that because I know that they're not just along for the ride, the girls. They are
No.
passionate about it and they want their opinion heard.
Oh, absolutely. And they've learned. They're 3 individual children.
Yeah.
Beautiful grown-up women, actually,
Yeah.
with all different strengths.
Yeah.
So we are very fortunate to have 5 people in a business with 5 different sets of strengths and 1 matriarchal boss.
Yeah.
4
4 get a vote.
No, everybody gets a vote.
4 get a vote.
5 get a vote.
Not convinced Paul gets a vote.
He feeds me, he gets a vote. You're a cheeky one. No, look, it's the best way to have a business, the best way. It's a great learning curve.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Great teaching. There's so many ups and downs.
Yeah.
You hit rock bottom and you can get back up again. There's not many things you can hit rock bottom and get up again. There's not many things that you have a ride to the top.
Yeah.
You can cruise for a little while, you go down, and then you ride again.
Yeah.
And you're just ever hopeful of that ride.
Yeah.
And Winx, you just can't believe that I still can't believe we were lucky enough to see and be a part of Winx. So,
Chris, he's been a part of the story for a long while. When did you speak to him and say, oh, there was not going to be anybody else, but when you officially gave him the job, she's going to be in your care at some point in time. I think she deserves a little holiday after what she's been through the last little while, but once she's broken in and ready to be prepared for her first race start, that's his job. Tell us about that conversation.
oh, it's only just happened. No, the purchase of this yearling was never broadcast to anybody. The 5 of us all knew that was what we wanted, but we didn't want to spoil anything. We wanted it to actually be a proper auction.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Damn
and we
straight.
had great. Inglis did a fabulous job to have highlighted that yearling as well as they did to get the competition. You know, there was all people from everywhere, Japan, here in Australia. I know that there were groups trying to get syndicates together to do it. I was approached by many people hoping to be able to put us in there to be able to come from that angle. That was very hard.
And you just said no.
It was very hard to continually say, look, we're not committing to anything. We want the auction to go through and not be pre-played out.
Yeah.
It was never an orchestrated, this is it. It was an actual live auction that could have gone anyway.
Well, you were right in you were right amongst it all. what we witnessed here and what you'll be able to witness when you look back at some of the vision that's been captured incredibly by Inglis was, I mean, the emotion we saw there from you.
Like relief when I watch
you don't like that.
Thank God that's done. Thank God I got her.
It was incredible.
It was, yeah.
But the atmosphere beforehand, Deb, was unbelievable. Out here, there was cameras everywhere capturing her.
Isn't that wonderful
It's
for racing?
awesome.
Isn't it wonderful
Yeah.
for breeding? It's just fabulous for this industry. Look, I wish we didn't have to go through it. I wished I'd owned her all along, but we didn't. So it's wonderful that the spectacle came off and was great. No one, she went through it all. She kept herself going, and you know they don't do that. She kicked off a bit this morning. She was getting tired of it, but nah, she was just amazing. So hopefully that means she can run. You just don't know.
No.
But that's Mr. Waller's problem. So
That sounds like a you problem, Chris.
he was asked if he had enough room in his stable, and he said he might have one free stall.
Yeah.
There's a few jocks out there today, one in Hong Kong as well, who I imagine would be keeping tabs on proceedings over the next little while.
Huey rang.
Oh, fantastic.
And he said, oh, that's really good news. Big smiley face.
Me, please.
Oh, that cheeky James
Oh, that little James McDonald. He
on
got involved, did he?
Saturday.
Oh, wow.
On Saturday, he's saying, you know, that's a bit more for you.
Yeah.
I thought, oh,
He did
they're
say
cheeky little devils.
37 wins, J-Mac says that Monty Winx had. Could have been 40 if he had been on board.
You're a stirrer.
Isn't he just?
He never said that at all. So then now we take a deep breath. Tell us quickly, give us an insight if you can, about your bloodstock business with the family. How many fillies and mares have you got? And then what do you do building from that?
Look, it's an ever-changing industry, so you're an ever-changing business plan. But we set a business plan in place, and we stood a stallion in New Zealand called Preferment. Now that didn't work out, but it's a great learning curve.
Yeah.
So you just readjust what you do. So we had a few mares in New Zealand for him.
Right, okay.
So they have been settled out,
Yep.
and one's been retired, and so different bits and pieces like that. And then we just set around moving on to our other bloodstock here in Australia. We try to buy one filly a year.
Yeah.
Generally a filly, sometimes a colt. We have done that, but generally a filly. And then we're in the Coolmore Colts band for 4 years, and that has given us Home Affairs as a stallion. Hopefully he kicks a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
And then Shinzo might come in. We run a handful of mares, change them constantly, always upgrading our band.
Yeah.
Winx, of course, is in our band, even when you're in partners, she's in our band. And I'm very fortunate that I also have a team that I run with my brothers and sister.
Yeah, that's great.
So we learnt a lot of the outcomes of breeding from Dad and Woodlands. Look, it's
awesome.
So it involves a lot, and it's always changing. And you've just got to learn and move forward and ask the experts for their opinion.
Thank God you're interested in racing and not racing yachts or something like that.
She
invests in racing.
I love that, Deb, we see you when you have a big win, even on Saturday with Riffy winning his second derby. You know, you get really emotional, and I love it so much because you live and breathe this, and you have a passion for this game like few others. And today, yes, you did have to get the checkbook out, but you know what? There's a couple of things you've achieved doing that. She gets to race and stay in Australia, which is number one. But the other thing, which you might not have considered, is that this sport of ours, which we love so much, needs all the press attention and eyeballs it can get, and that's what also you've done today. She's on every news tonight. She's on the back page of the paper tomorrow. She'll probably be on the front page of the paper in Sydney tomorrow as well, but you're keeping racing out there, and that's what we need to do. And yes, it might have cost a bit today.
She goes, gee, it's cost me a lot to promote racing.
You know, your passion just speaks loud. I think your passion speaks louder than what you had to pay for her today, so well done.
Look, and That's racing. It is. I hate that term. I wish I could come up with something clickier than that, but it is. That's racing. And we need it in a good light. There are some things in racing that aren't happy and aren't great, but we make sure they don't happen often, and we make sure if there's something that can be done, it's done. Look at Lindy Morris with the young kids in the pony races.
Magical.
You know, we're getting the young kids understanding and feeding their animals right. That's super important. And then that also highlights that we have off-the-track horses. And you can't just breed for racing. You've got to make sure there's an avenue for them in retirement.
For sure.
All those things are important, and that we actually, as an industry, are trying our damnedest to make sure they're on the front page, not for the wrong reasons. So if this yearling can put us in a good light, that's great.
I think you've done
Hallelujah.
that. I've no doubt.
Bloodstock. Why purple?
Our favourite colour.
It always has been.
No, but that was when the kids were little. I think it was, we saw Nemo, the Nemo colours on. So Nemo is orange, black and white. And then there was a horse running at that stage called Friday Creek. And it raced in orange and white with the black seams. And it looked like Nemo. And Talia used to cheer for Nemo. So we thought, well, we've got to come up with something catchy. That's when we decided, we all like purple.
You're the purple Nemo.
We're the purple
You've
Nemo.
subbed out the orange for the purple.
Yes.
There we go.
God, I'm glad I asked that question. I always wondered, actually, why purple? There you go, the purple Nemo. I tell you what, we've covered a lot.
Haven't we just?
While that's been going on, there's been some amazing horse flesh. They've all been there. You've been able to watch it both, but I know everyone at home has been fascinated. Deb, congratulations, mate. And most importantly, good luck with her.
Thank you.
You're
we need luck.
Yeah, always. You need luck. Back into the ring, the Schnitzel filly.